Welcome back to the Plus Money Podcast, your home for the best soccer bets in 15 minutes or less. It's a Premier League weekend. We've got some decent games. Newcastle, Manchester United is our big game of the weekend, but we've got two big rivalry matchups in Europe. We've got Der Klassiker in Germany with Bayern Munich taking on Dortmund, and we have the Rome derby in Italy. I'm Andrew Passaro. Marcus Krum joins the show today. Marcus has some plus money news to talk about in just a moment, but I want everybody to remember this weekend we are coming off a Champions League week, a Europa League week. Be very careful. There's going to be rotated lineups. Wait for news to drop. We're going to see teams absolutely taking a punt on this weekend. PSG asked League One to move their fixture for the weekend so that they could focus on the Champions League this weekend. So, you know what? I've watched so much football that my eyes feel like they're ready to pop out of my head over the last few days. The quarterfinals have been very fun. Marcus, you helped launch the Plus Money newsletter. I want you to tell
Oh
everybody
yeah.
why they should subscribe. It is free, just like this podcast. But Marcus, tell the people what they can be receiving in their inbox every Friday afternoon.
Well, first of all, I think everybody should be, making sure that they get the podcast sent directly to their email inbox so that they can be up to date every Friday right before a big weekend of games. Um, the newsletter itself is just little tidbits from the pod, plus my own musings on the big game of the weekend. And just gets you ready for what you need to know for the weekend ahead and gets the pod just directly in that inbox.
Yeah, I should be saying this every single weekend or every single week. Yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the show. If you're a new time, listener, somebody just sent this to you, saw this on Instagram,
Critical,
on TikTok, whatever.
critical.
Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, all of that. Make sure that you can find us week after week after week because we will be here betting on the games week after week after week. And there's okay. I don't love the board this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not in love with it. There's some good games, but I'm not in love with it. But I'm going to dive in here. Manchester City are playing Crystal Palace early on Saturday morning. I'm going to play both teams to score an over 2.5 at -115. That is good enough for me, especially with the form that Crystal Palace are on right now. And then I have two other long shots. They're both plus 250. These are by no means give me bets. Like they might miss, but I'm okay missing with this price and the form that both of these people are on. Mateta scored against Manchester City both times last season. He's been on excellent goal scoring form. He's plus 250 anytime. Manchester City are a mess right now. They're going to be desperate. Crystal Palace also they're not out of a European spot as of yet on their own play, and they're in an FA Cup semifinal right now. They're playing incredible ball. I'm big on buying on this Crystal Palace form. I was last season, and I'm back on it again this season. And Crystal Palace to score twice in this game is plus 250. They've hit that total in uh, a bunch of their most recent matches against Manchester City. Um, can they win? I don't know. Could they score two goals? I absolutely think Manchester City could. I think Palace could give City a hard time here. Am I crazy?
Yeah, I mean, no, you're not crazy. I mean, this is the most defensively inept Pep Guardiola team we've seen. I'll take any money on John Philippe Mateta right now. I mean, tucked in shirt Mateta is one of the best strikers of a generation. So yeah, I'm in on Palace. They're a lot of fun. Who would have thought? And I mean, City's not necessarily shipping goals for fun, but they're certainly not the defensive game control stalwarts that we've seen in the past. So yeah, I like those.
Last three matchups head to head, City have hit that. Palace have hit that total against City, and it's four of the last five head to head matchups. Palace have scored twice against Manchester City, so it's not crazy. Plus 250. I'm gonna roll the dice there. Brighton are taking on Leicester, and we try to find this every single week. Leicester have scored only in two games in their last 15. Brighton to win 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. So the exact score bands that are on various sports books is plus 150. I'm just going to play that. Probably won't watch that game. Brighton should win. Leicester won't score. We move to Sunday. Liverpool are taking on West Ham. I'm really this is very lineup dependent, but Luis Diaz is back on good form for club and country. Score or assist at even money. He has a goal or an assist in four straight Premier League games, and he has a goal or an assist in four straight games for club and country across the last four games that he's played for Liverpool and for Colombia. He's back on good form. I would expect him to start in this one, and I believe he scored against West Ham earlier this season. Again, we could see Gakpo and Jota out there, but I kind of expect Luis Diaz to be back. And that brings us to 11:30, Newcastle, Manchester United. Manchester United coming off just a classic Manchester United ending
Oh
of the
yeah.
Europa League today. Andre Onana is in the fuck around and find out part of his career right now, and maybe just don't do interviews. Maybe just don't do interviews. In the middle of the week, he talked about how you know how important of a goalkeeper he is, and then Nemanja Matic called him out, and then he of course had two not great moments against Lyon as Manchester United drew and blew a very late winner. I got two plays here. Newcastle and over 2.5 at plus 130. They've hit that in 9 of the 17 games they've played in 2025. And Manchester United have only given that up in one of their 20 matches in 2025. But Newcastle they're hot right now. And they're in fifth place in a Champions League spot, all on their own right now, and they need to keep that up. I is Newcastle team total over 2.5 at plus 210, which they've done only 6 times of their 17 games played in 2025. I don't know if that's good enough. I kind of would need that at plus 250, but I'm thinking about it. What are you thinking about in this game?
Yeah, I mean, we saw the game plan against United on Thursday, which is just fire shots at Andre Onana when you have to. I like Isak to score. He's not plus money, but you throw in two shots on target with that, and that's plus 138. So Isak to score and to have two shots on target plus 138. I mean, the form that he's been in just this season, but especially in 2025 has just been excellent, and I think. I mean, we know the playbook. We know United over the last 2, 3 seasons has given up a ton of shots. We know Isak is going to be the one to try to hit them on the counter and try to get at that back line. So I like Isak to be heavily involved.
Yeah, I do too. I would take we could probably just dumb it down to a Newcastle win and an Isak goal as well if you want to
Yeah,
just
easy,
combine our two
easy money.
plays. But I like that as well. We'll jump to some matchups in Italy. We're going to Friday, so I hope you guys are listening to this early. Udinese are taking on Milan, and again, I have two props here. Um, Both teams to score in over 2.5 is plus 105. Both teams to score has hit in 9 straight, and the over 2.5 has hit in 7 of those for AC Milan. They are just giving up goals left and right. You want to know another crazy fact? They've given up the first goal in 7 of their last 9 games. Udinese first goal plus 135.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm just on a fade AC Milan ride right now. They just can't get out of their own way. They're making mistakes. I think Conceição's
I
gone
mean,
at the end of the season.
well, and what we know about that team is they love the late comeback. They love the drama. They love the headlines, but they're not a first half team. They're not going to come out early and hit you in the mouth. They're going to try to leave it late. So yeah, first half, first goal for Udinese. I like that.
I also I don't know how to play this. Like there has to be this bet somewhere, but Milan are the definition of a team that it's like I want to bet first half over half a goal, but second half somehow most goals. Like if that parlay was available, that is the
Hmm.
AC Milan special right there.
That's the Milan parlay. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, Another early game that we're both interested in. Atalanta are taking on Bologna Saturday morning. We talked about you and I have talked about it, but we've talked about it on this podcast. Bologna, I think, are going to lock up that top four spot in Serie A. This is 3 versus 4, but Atalanta just coming in brutal form. 1 win in their last 5, and 3 wins, 2 draws, and 5 losses in their last 10. Just kind of ever since they got knocked out of the Champions League. Um, just bad, brutal form for Atalanta. Bologna double chance at minus 125 is too good to be true for me. And
Oh,
also they haven't lost to Atalanta in 5 straight head-to-head matchups.
so I was really surprised by the numbers on this one. I mean, Bologna money line plus 300, like plus 300 is a long shot. I like Bologna to win this game. Atalanta look like they've lost all of the magic from last year right now. And Bologna, I mean, Bologna's lost one game in 2025. They are scorching right now. They beat Atalanta in the Coppa Italia away from home in February, and like you said, they haven't lost in their last five matches against Atalanta. I mean, I at plus 300, that's a great number. I would have taken that at plus 180, but I think Bologna money line at plus 300 is seems like a very easy play against an Atalanta team that's really struggling right now.
I Here's the thing. I usually love to play if there's a team that I love money line that's an underdog, I usually love to play their team total over 1.5. These teams in Italy that I've been riding a lot of late, both Bologna and Roma, are not teams that I'm actually comfortable
Yeah,
doing that with. Like
right.
they might just win 1-0 and like win ugly and they're more than capable of it. But I agree with you. I think this isn't a get greedy spot. Just play the money line or play draw no bet or play double chance.
Mhm.
Like don't don't tack goals on there because they can win ugly. They will win ugly. Yeah. Lazio, Roma, Rome derby. Lazio coming off a 2-0 and they got played off the pitch, off the Arctic Circle
Le
today.
legitimately got played out of the Arctic Circle. They saw the snow. They didn't want to get off the plane. They didn't get off the plane. They stayed on the plane and they went right back home to Rome because I mean, they looked like a Serie C team. They didn't look like they belonged in Serie B, much less the Europa League. That was one of the worst performances I've seen against a side like Bodo Glimt, a Norwegian side that had not been in Europe in 2 decades until a couple years ago. I mean, that was pathetic.
So look, form, I think this is after the Lazio loss when I did my research, but last 10 for Lazio, 3 wins, 4 draws, and 3 losses. And Roma are on fire. 8-1 and 1. They drew last weekend against Juve. But the money line number is the same price for Roma. Roma money line at plus 180 is I'm hammering that. I feel extremely confident
Hmm.
about that. Draw no bet at minus 110 if you're comfortable. If you're uncomfortable taking the money line and you want a little insurance because it is a derby. Roma also won the derby, I think, earlier this season. And Roma team total over 1.5 at plus 168. It's only hitting 4 of the last 10 for Roma, and Roma have only given that up in 4 of the last 10. Um, but I'm just gonna play money line. I don't think I need to overcomplicate it. Lazio are out of form. Roma are on form. Uh, I kind of said it going into the international break. Like, is it crazy for Roma to finish top four? Probably because Bologna are in such good form. But like, Roma and Bologna are maybe the two hottest teams in Italy right now. This could be a great weekend to parlay double chance Bologna and Roma, and just ride that ticket to financial freedom. But what are you thinking here?
I mean, yeah, I think Roma, you have to pick Roma, especially with Lazio looking ahead to this second leg where they have to rescue a two-goal deficit against again Bodo Glimt. Here's what I'll say about this one though. I think we're almost guaranteed to see Lazio try to muck this one up. This is traditionally a derby of of passion, but not of goals. And I think we're absolutely going to see Lazio. I mean, probably a at least a slightly rotated side, but of course it's a derby match. They're still wanting to improve their position in Serie A. So they're not going to punt on it, but it's that weird twilight zone where they have so much work to do in the second leg against Bodo Glimt. They're looking ahead to that. I think they're going to come out here kicking, and I'm taking under 1.5 at plus 230. That's hitting 5 of the last 6 Rome derbies. And while I do think Roma absolutely has the edge here, I just you've got to think that Lazio is going to have this siege mentality in this match and just try to make it an ugly one. And I think that plays into exactly what we've seen from this derby over the last few years, which is not a lot of goals.
Um, I always forget to bet this in Merseyside derbies when you just reminded me. This game, uh, this might be a. Is there, red card to be shown in the
Oh
game?
yeah.
Like,
I mean,
like,
this screams like a 78th minute red card,
yeah, yeah,
like a double sending off.
yeah, yeah. I could absolutely see it. I could absolutely see it. Jumping to Germany, two German giants coming off very disappointing weeks in Europe. A depleted Bayern Munich are taking on a Borussia Dortmund team that is just they're just not the Dortmund that we know and love. Um, I wrote down two bets. One I'm very confident in, and that one's plus 200. The other one's plus 105, and I'm not super confident in it. But my gut told me first half over 1.5 at plus 105, but that's only hit in two of the last
Mm,
five for Bayern and only one of the last four for Dortmund. But my favorite bet here is look with Musiala out for Bayern. There's one player that has to pull the strings for Bayern, and he has stepped up, and it's Michael Olise. Two shots on target is plus 200. Three shots in the match is minus 120. He's hit two shots on target in his last two games for Bayern and four of the last 10. I did cash this ticket in the Champions League on Tuesday night when they fell to Inter. Um, but I just feel like with look, I mean Mueller will probably start here, but I still think Elise is next to Musiala their most creative player. You can't take any Harry Kane props because they're all like minus 700.
yeah,
Um,
right. Yeah.
I think Elise is the way I want to attack this. I do see Bayern winning this game, but um, I don't know how to read Dortmund anymore. Like they're so damn inconsistent.
I think they're just not very good. I'm like, I just don't think this is a great Dortmund side. I mean, we saw them just get absolutely exposed. Their captain calling them soft after they just get torched by probably the best team in Europe in Barcelona. But I mean, this is the weird twilight zone where they're both looking ahead here to second legs. But this is a huge game in the league for both these teams. I again with this one, I'm gonna pivot from what you said in the first half. I'm predicting a slower game. We've seen slow first halves in Der Klassiker in the past. Their last matchup, there was one goal in the first half, but there were nine total shots. So I'm gonna say no goals in the first half at plus 340 feels
Ooh.
like good enough, a good enough number to put some at least sprinkle on that. Just again because they might rotate a little bit, but just in general, like they're going to be looking ahead to these second legs. And then I also like, I mean, we've seen Bayern for the most part over the last 5 to 7 years have a pretty steady hand in this derby. So I'm going to say Bayern will win this, but both teams will score. And that's at plus 125, Bayern money line, and both teams to score. That hit in six in a row in this derby from, I think it was 2022 to 2024, and it's hit in seven of the last 11 Der Klassikers, Bayern money line, and both teams to score. So at plus money, that feels like the right move.
Well, you set up perfectly the thing that everybody is really here for, and that's the both teams to score parlay for Saturday.
Both teams to score parlay. Come on.
It's plus 252. We've talked about two of the games already. We're starting with Manchester City Palace. The first game here. Manchester City have played 20 matches in 2025. 12 of those have been both teams to score. Only five of their 12 EPL matches have been both teams to score. Crystal Palace. It's I think they've all I don't know how many games that they've played, but it's hit seven times in six of their 11 EPL matches. Both teams to score has hit. I'm going to Monaco. They're taking on Marseille in Ligue 1 or Ligue 1, I guess. As I should probably pronounce it.
You go.
I do like Mika Biereth to score in that game. He's plus 110 or plus 115. He's on fire. Marseille played 14 times. Nine games. Those have been both teams to score. Eight of those 13 have been in League One or Ligue 1. And Monaco, 18 games, 11 both teams to score. But 10 of their 12 Ligue 1 games are both teams to score as well. Bayern are taking on Dortmund, as we mentioned. Nine of their last 11 head-to-head matchups have been both teams to score. And Bayern, they've played 19 games in 2025. 12 of those have been both teams to score. Eight of those 13 matches in the Bundesliga, and Dortmund 20 matches, 11 games, both teams to score, seven of their 13 in the Bundesliga. If you want to add another leg or swap out another game, a team that I've been tracking that hasn't ended up in the parlay yet is Mainz. They're playing at Hoffenheim this weekend. Mainz do love both teams to score, but we're sticking with those three games. It's plus 252. I have a Sunday both teams to score parlay that's plus 250. I haven't done the research for it just yet, but assuming I keep these teams and it'll be plus 250. I'll have that out over on the social media channels. Make sure you're following here. If you're watching on YouTube, it'll be on the YouTube Shorts. If it's not, if it's on the Instagram at the Plus Money Pod, it'll be on my TikTok at Passaro16, and I might put it on Twitter at the Plus Money Pod. Make sure you're following there. Make sure you're following Marcus as well at Marcus Krum. You can follow me at Andrew Passaro, and make sure you're subscribed to the newsletter. There's a link in the bio of whatever platform you are listening to. And I will say this, Marcus may not be on the show every single week, but he's going to be offering you more picks and some more breakdown analysis. If you are one who likes to read, it's not a long newsletter.
Quick,
It's very
just like this
quick.
podcast.
Just like the podcast. It's there to help you out. We would appreciate if you guys could sign up. You're already getting 8,000 emails a day. What's one more? You're not even going to notice it. We hope you notice it because we hope you come back and watch the podcast. Yeah, that'll wrap it up from us. We have only 6 more weekends in the Premier League after this. Sad. Marcus, I'm going to put you on the spot. I think we watched our two Champions League finalists play on Wednesday in Barcelona PSG. Right here, right now, 9:54 on April 10th. Who's playing in the Champions League final?
Yeah, it's Barcelona PSG, and Barcelona will win.
There we go. There we go.
That's
I have
the
I have a PSG ticket to reach the final at plus 1,000. So I'm probably gonna cash out on my Inter future, but we'll figure that out once we get to the next round.
you're going with Barcelona and PSG as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah. This
Yeah.
Barcelona team, man, they're fucking crazy. They're so good.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna
Yep.
end this, and Marcus and I are gonna wax poetically more about how good those games were in the middle of the week, and we will talk to you next week.